What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update yet again with the great Brian Daigle. We've done the all the post-match stuff for the Chelsea. It was very hard to get through, but now it is done. We can focus on the Tottenham update today. And the first update is the Leicester game has now been rearranged as it was called off for COVID. And it has been rearranged for Wednesday, the 19th of January. So straight after the North London derby, few days before the Chelsea game. Great stuff, isn't it?
It is. Is that? I'm just trying to work out. Burnley was the first game that got called off. Then it was Leicester. Then it was Brighton. So obviously they've got to look at what Burnley and
I'm not sure why
Brighton do. But to have the Leicester one in, let's face it, it's the bigger one out of the three. So yeah, it's in the diary, and it's whilst I'm still here. So we could be going to Leicester, or you will be. Hopefully, I'll be coming with you.
So yeah, I mean, January has just got even harder now. We played Chelsea last night, got Morecambe on Sunday, and then Chelsea on Wednesday, Arsenal on Sunday, Leicester on Wednesday, and then Chelsea again on Sunday. So games are coming thick and fast. I mean, how many points do you realistically think we can pick up from those league games, Arsenal, Leicester and Chelsea, all in the space of a week?
Well, first of all, it started to sound like a Craig David song, isn't it? Let's go on Sunday, Monday. Exactly. Played this team on a Wednesday. But yeah, how many points? Oh, Jesus. So it would have been a very different total if we hadn't had the performance we had yesterday. If we break this down, Arsenal, I can't say anything less than 3 points just because I'm physically programmed that way. I can't say anything other. Chelsea away, well, we know what normally happens there. So I would bite your hand off for a draw right now. Leicester, I'll take a win. So I'll say 7.
If I gave you 4 points right now,
bite your head off. But only 3 of those were against Arsenal.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about some transfers. Sky Sports Lyle has said today that Tottenham will almost certainly do business this January. And Dan Kilpatrick has followed on from that, and he says AC Milan midfielder Frank Kessie, who is out of contract at the end of the season, is considered a target in Italy, while Milan-based centre-backs Alessio Romangali and Steven De Vrij, also free agents in the summer, are well known to Conte and Paratici. What's your gut telling you about business in January?
So with the headline in itself, with the Tottenham Hotspur will do business in January, that's kind of like saying we're all going to win the lottery if we buy a ticket. So that's basically where we're at. Listen, I've made it very, very clear about my feelings about this, and I think other people are unfortunately starting to agree with me. And I say unfortunately because it's just a shame that this is happening again.
So do you not think we're going to get anyone in?
I think we're going to get one. Couldn't tell you who, couldn't tell you what position, but I think one will come in, and maybe a pre-contract arrangement for next summer. But who that is anybody's business. Probably someone from the GM Vauxhall conference or the Runcorn South or whatever. No, listen, in all honesty, we need to get players in. We know it needs to be more than one, but I could just see it being one and possibly a pre-contract.
But we've already signed someone. We signed someone today. We signed a fitness and conditioning coach from Middlesbrough.
I thought we were going to do a whole drum roll for that. Spurs have signed one. Stop the clock. Stop everything. We have signed. Who have we signed? Let's go into it.
Fitness and conditioning coach from Middlesbrough.
To help... To help the 3 other fitness coaches.
Probably going to trying to help Giovanni Lo Celso or something.
Yeah, it's basically posh words for Gio Lo Celso's personal physician, hasn't it?
Yeah, but in terms of the 3 names mentioned here, Frank Kessie, Romangali and De Vrij, all out of contract in the summer. What do you make out of those? Do you want these 3 players through the door?
Obviously, it's Kessie, yes. The second one, I have no idea who he is.
Romangali, he's actually a very good centre-back, plays for AC Milan.
Okay, so we definitely need a centre-back. This has been so yes. And the other one was De Vrij. Yeah, one out of all 3, that's the one I'd really want.
All right, let's move on. Tim Spears of The Athletic, who is a Wolves correspondent, is commenting today on Adama Traore, and he says Wolves are anticipating that Adama Traore will leave the club this month or in the summer. Jack Pickbrook has been speaking about it as well, and he says Tottenham considering a fresh approach for Adama Traore this month to convert into a right wing back. Matt Doherty could return to Wolves as part of the deal. I mean, if we can get this deal over the line, is that a deal you would welcome, Adama for Doherty? And I'm guessing we would have to pay them like 15-20 million as well.
Doherty out the door, yes. And I hate saying that about players, but we all know it just hasn't. He hasn't cut the mustard. It's time, and especially after being hauled off at half time yesterday, listen, Adama is basically a guy like Emerson who can run with the ball or get there but not finish, get a cross in. Now, obviously, you spoke very highly about the cross for his. It's just not regular enough. But like we've been saying, if Conte wants him, I want him. That's as far as it goes. I would rather someone else. I can't actually think of an actual. I think there's better we could get out there.
I mean, there's been talk of a player called Lazzari of Lazio who does that role, right wing back for Lazio, to quite a high standard. There's been talk of a player called Kostic, who actually is a natural winger but can play wing back, and he plays out in the German league as well. So there are names banded around out there, and there's a name we're going to get to in a minute as well. But in terms of Adama, I like what he brings to the team, and I think that if he's under Conte's, maybe it's going to take a big manager to unlock him.
Maybe, but I want to go back to the fan show today when David Harris was on, and he said something that really, really struck a chord with me, which is like, again, no one else wants him. Doesn't mean he's not up for the job, but it's like when this guy has got, like, everyone knows how much power he has, how much pace he has, how much damage he could do running with the ball, yet no one really wants to say, yeah, do you know what, he would really fit there. So I think that's quite telling. But like you said, it could be a blessing in disguise that it's only Conte that wants him, because Conte could unlock the final part that's missing from him. We're yet to see.
All right, let's move on. And let's talk about another right wing back. Tony Banks from the Mirror or the Express says Tottenham are ready to battle Arsenal for Tariq Lamptey. Brighton would want 50 million for the defender. The Sun follow up from that, and they say Tariq Lamptey is emerging as a key target for Tottenham, but Antonio Conte may have to wait until the summer to land the £50 million rated starlet. I mean, I've been very impressed with him for Brighton. I think he's a very good player. Maybe a bit small for what we're trying to do at right wing back. I feel maybe we need someone. Maybe it's not actually that key. We need someone that tall if it's in Antonio Conte's system. Maybe in a Nuno system we needed someone big. But look, if we could get Lamptey through the door, I would very much welcome it. But 50 million does seem a bit too steep.
I'd take him over Adama. Obviously, forget the price tags. I think this guy has a lot more potential and a lot more to give. And I hate you quoting this guy, but Jason Cundy actually said it on, on TalkSport, when you said, when people start talking about people's heights and people's size, N'Golo Conte. Now, obviously, he's in a league of his own, but these players win the ball and beat bigger men, not just because it's their reading of the game and their timing and their other attributes. And you look at Jermaine Defoe up front.
Yeah,
it doesn't. I mean, I do understand defenders need to. There's certain games where they need to be tall, and obviously it's a position where set pieces and whatever. But I think he offers so much more that he is someone I really would like to see in a Spurs shirt.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think he's a top talent, young, English, fits the bill. So if we can bring him in, I'd be definitely for that. And last but not least, Rob Dawson of ESPN claims that Harry Kane is still a Man City target for the summer. I was speaking to Sim at length about this. He is adamant that that Man City won't come back in for Harry Kane. I was kind of thinking that I don't see why they wouldn't. Do you really think that half a season is going to deter them from coming back in for him? Yes, there are other strikers on the market like Haaland and Vlahovic, which maybe they'll look at to sign before Kane. But what if they can't get them through the door? You know what I mean? So why wouldn't they come back in for Harry Kane?
So there's quite a bit to be said here. I mean, well, first of all, I'm going to take the side of the person whose chair I'm using at the moment. I think Simon's right. I don't think they come in for him. I actually think, and I've said it before, I think Man City are trying to, and I would not be surprised to see them make one huge push to try and get Haaland before his release clause kicks in, because obviously there's going to be so many people queuing up that they may just want to steal a march and say, right, here we go, we'll pay this up front. And it's going to be the summer strikers, isn't it? There's him, there's Mbappe, there's Vlahovic, obviously there's the links with us. And with Kane, I just can't see City come back from it. But if they do, in the summer, if we haven't won a trophy or haven't backed this team up or backed this manager up, then we're exactly where we were in the summer, just with a better manager that hasn't been backed. So should they not get Haaland, who I think is their number one target, I think I can see him coming back for Kane in the summer, but then obviously his fees drop down, and we will have to go from there.
if Kane doesn't sign a contract, right, which is obviously it's rumoured that he is going to.
Yep.
But let's say he doesn't. Obviously, the price drops from last summer.
Yep.
So I don't get why. Like, they offered 100 million in the summer. If they repeat that bid this summer, does Daniel Levy accept that if he doesn't sign a contract?
I think you have to. I really think you have to, because it's not just that. Look at his form this season. Now, he could have a brilliant second half of the season. He could.
He will.
But he is definitely not the form that he was last season. And again, yes, it's partly his fault, but obviously the whole manager nonsense, Nuno, and then the transfer, then Europe. There's been loads of variables in it. So 100 million, maybe not as good a season. 2 years left on your contract. I think you have to. And then if that's the case, there's no excuse why Dusan Vlahovic doesn't come in, because we'll have the money. But yeah.
Back on your point before in terms of the strikers available. I mean, Haaland, I don't know where he's going to go, but he could go to Man City. It's very likely. But there are a number of other clubs as well which he can go to. I mean, Barcelona have been talking quite a big game recently. Joan Laporta saying Barcelona are back. You're going to see all the big players coming back to Barcelona now. And I think Haaland is very high up on their list. You've got Mbappe, right, who he's nailed on for Real Madrid.
Yep.
He's going to go Real Madrid. So that leaves you with two strikers, right, Vlahovic and Harry Kane.
Yep.
And you just don't know. Will Man City gamble on a Vlahovic? I know he's been good for 2 years now, but I think with Man City, I think they might want more of a Harry Kane, that talisman role, because Vlahovic is going to have to grow into that role.
Well, there's another thing I want to add to this at the end, but that's why I think Man City go for Haaland right now, because they're concerned that obviously if
Haaland
Barcelona
ain't
are
leaving
back
in January, I'll tell you that.
No, but you can sign a pre-contract. They could get,
because he's not out of contract.
Oh, that's true. My bad. But I think, who knows, he could go. But if Man City come in with a whopping offer, and it would be a whopping offer, that's why they might do it, because of fears of other clubs that will compete with them in the summer. But the thing I was also going to add in regards to Harry Kane is something I've completely forgotten. I will remember it very shortly. Oh my God, it was a really good point. Oh, good God. It'll come back to me. Oh, forget it. It'll come back to me.
But anyway, I mean, look, let's be honest with the Harry Kane thing. I think he wants to stay at Spurs if Spurs are going in the right direction. If Spurs look like they can fight on the fronts. If Conte does not get backed in January and the summer, then maybe in the latter stages of the summer transfer window, we might see grumblings from Kane. But from now until then, I don't think he will.
Oh no, I don't get me wrong. I don't think this window or anything you're going to see a backlash from Harry Kane's form dropping or anything like that. I would be very wary at the summer. I'd be very, very wary. So maybe not just
I think
of him.
back end of the summer though. I
don't mean near the end of the season, like last game of the season where this all broke horribly this summer. I think if a deal was to be broken and Kane was to leave, obviously there's loads of variables. I would say that he would leave under a lot better circumstances than the whole ordeal and saga that was last summer. I think it would be okay, listen, my time's come, goodbye. He'd say it, and then hopefully, hopefully not, but a smooth transition. I couldn't see it being an absolute shit show like this was.
Well, it's all down to one man, and that is Daniel Levy. Get your checkbook out. We need signings if we're going to do anything this season, and especially in the summer, we need signings if we're going to do anything next season.
Exactly.
So, a lot of holes to fill in the squad, a lot of players to get out, a lot of players to come in, a lot of business needs to be done. Brian's gut feeling, he's saying that we're going to bring in one signing from now until the end of the season. I'm going to push the boat out, and I'm going to say between 2 and 3. Between 2 and 3.
I said one and a pre-contract deal. So one in permanently in January, and one to come in the summer.
I'm going 2 permanently and 1 pre-contract.
What?
A right wing back, and a right wing back and central midfield, and an attacking midfielder.
I completely agree with you now that the right wing back. I didn't see it as an issue. Obviously, Emerson's crossing was a cause for concern, but I thought he might learn, and he still could. But
since the start of the season,
yeah. But I literally, after watching, I mean, I saw Watford. I've seen a lot of games, or all the games, but after seeing yesterday and being there, it's not good. There definitely needs to be an upgrade on that right back and an attacking player, whether it be a backup striker, competition for Kane, or an Eriksen-esque, Coutinho-esque. We'll see. But they're the two I think we desperately need.
All right, so that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any thoughts regarding any of the news stories we brought to you today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on,
Leave you
Spurs.
out.